watching. Welcome to the show. It's Wednesday, y'all. Happy hump day, people. Are you ready for some girl chat? All of you guys, hope you are prepared, because as you just heard, we are ready. Ready for girl chat. First up, everyone knows the expression, mama knows best. However, a user on Quora recently questioned that, asking, why do a lot of mothers tell their daughters to marry a rich man? And believe it or not, the answers were split. While some people couldn't believe a mother would want her daughter to marry for anything other than love, others thought there was nothing wrong with wanting her daughter to be financially stable. So ladies, what do you think about moms teaching their daughters to secure the bag?
You know, I think a lot of the moms probably feel like they wish they had, and I think as a parent, you want your kids to be secure and safe, and, maybe they wish they had better means. And so for their daughter, I can only speculate that that would be what you'd want. You'd want your daughter to have someone that can take care of them. So not to be like uber rich. I don't think that's the goal. I think the goal is to be able to pay your bills. A lot of relationships break up or go through hardship because of finances. So I would think if they felt someone could take care of their daughter, that would be one less thing to worry about.
Almost like,
I think this was
what is that called?
A 1950s
Living
thing.
vicariously.
But when I went to college, I know a lot of girls that, they said their moms told them to go to college and make sure they find a husband. I don't know about the marrying rich. My mom didn't tell me that. My mom told me to get my education. She wasn't really into marriage, and I'm glad that she told me to get my education so that I could take care of myself and I have my own riches. I feel she also told me about love. She also told me to make sure that, that I get love. And I think that when you look for love, that love that you have for a person is going to let you know if that person is right or wrong for you. But, different strokes for different folks. For me, I'm glad where I am and that I have my education, I can take care of myself, and that I have my love, my own love.
Yeah, my mom raised me very similarly, Lonnie.
And education is so vital, as is making your own dollar. Forget about how much money he makes. Let's just set that aside. If you ain't teaching your daughters to make your own money, and I'm not talking about just to be stable, but I'm talking about the power of independency, just to feel proud of yourself to go out there and get a job, to face an interviewer, to get the necessary credentials. All those things are life essentials. It's so crazy to me that mothers could be advising this, and I believe this a lot in my culture. There's a lot in my culture that tells you to go marry somebody who has the financial security, just in case you don't make it. But my culture also comes from countries where women are the ones that just kind of stay quiet and they work at home and they don't go out there and get jobs, So it can be a very scary thing, and I hope that it's an old school thing, Lonnie, like you said. I hope that moms aren't advising girls to do this anymore.
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, I think it's so important as women that we be independent and that we independently have our own money, because I think that also leads to the bigger question of so many women that don't feel that they have financial freedom enough to leave situations that are not good for them, situations where they're not in love, situations where they feel trapped because they can't go anywhere because they don't have the money to not only supply for themselves, but for their children that now are in that marriage. So I was raised with a mom who literally was like, you better have your own, you don't take money from nobody, you like very hardcore that way.
Jeannie in that phone.
Whoever it was, please speak up, because it wasn't mine. I have the little highlighted orange button on.
It's on silent. How does it ring?
How dare...
Jeannie, because last time it was your phone.
It's on silent, but how does it ring?
My family, man. I always get blamed for everything. I always get blamed.
I thought it was a house phone.
It sounds just like your house phone, Jeannie. It sounds just like it.
Well, guess what? It was Goody Two Shoes Garcelle this time.
Hi, I opened
what
the
I
gate.
was saying was, my mom really made it important that I never depended on a man. Does that make sense? If you marry a man and he's financially stable, that's amazing. You also don't want somebody who's dragging you down or who expects you to financially take care of them. I don't think that's at all what we're saying either. But it's important that you have your own as a woman, and it's important that we put that importance into this next generation.
Absolutely.
This next generation of women.
Absolutely.
Because I think a lot of women marry for the wrong reasons.
Right. My mom always said, don't ever let a man leave you and you're destitute. Always have something of your own. And I think
My
that's
mother always
the
told
takeaway
me,
for all this.
my mom made this really weird. She said, if a man leaves you, don't ever be in a position where a man can kick you out of his house.
Right.
Like
Always.
I just saw a Tyler Perry movie with that.
Yeah.
Not just have your own, but if you're on a lease, if you're living in somebody's
Your name
home,
needs
you better
to be
make
on
sure
the
your
house.
name is on that lease. My mom would
Come
stress
on.
these things to me.
Yes.
Like, do
Don't
not
get
live
crazy.
in no man's house. You will get kicked out.
But I also
Yes.
want to be real about this. With this topic is that there are a lot of people that don't have means. A lot of men aren't given the same opportunities. Every man isn't given the same opportunity. And it really hurts the cultures when they're not given the same opportunities of equality and equity. And so, we tend to have to be the ones to, be the caretakers or be the breadwinners. And then it's causing a lot. So this is the reason why hopefully, we can start working on programs to have equality and equity for everybody so that women can have someone that actually can, because everybody can't marry rich. Some people just want a man with a good job or job.
That's
Exactly. That can help take care of his family.
Exactly.
So.
And also know the
right.
financing too. I feel like even if you're married to somebody who's wealthy or well off or not wealthy at all, know the finances as well, women. Don't just leave it up to the men. Know what you're making, what you're doing with it, what's he doing with the collective money. I think it's really
know
important.
What's coming in,
so
what's
many
going
women,
out.
Yes, don't know that stuff.
Taxes.
And then the man, they get a divorce and then they don't know what's going on. They don't know what they have, what they don't have. So I think that's really important. All right, I'm going to move on,
we're making this list, then I got something to throw on there too. I advise you to make sure you know your state laws when it comes to divorce. Every law is different and your rights are not the same. And what you think should happen when you get divorced is not what the law says in your state. So make sure you know that.
Yeah.
That's
And let me just say this, California is a no-fault state. I'll let you know that one.
That part! That
Personally. All right, I'm gonna move on. Up next, I was actually doing some late night scroll on the gram, you guys.
Damn. Just explain what no fault means, because a lot of people watching may not know what no fault means.
You need to. For these youngsters out there, you need to, Garcelle.
No fault state in divorces means that no matter who did wrong, it does not matter. That everything.
In translation means
it does.
She
not
could be
matter.
sleeping in your bed. You could walk in on her doing your man, and it still means
You don't get
50-50
nothing.
of whatever
You get
y'all
nothing.
make goes to him. Just so you know.
Nothing. Exactly. So we
sound
learned
like
that.
somebody.
Anyway,
It sounds like y'all getting personal.
I was doing a late night scroll on the gram and I saw a post on the Jasmine brand that I could not wait to share with you ladies. They reposted a tweet from a user, V.Marie, which said, single men rarely shoot their shot. It be y'all husbands and boyfriends that are emptying the clip in the DMs. So, ladies, I am curious if you think that's really what's going down in the DMs. Is it only married men and boyfriends, or are the single guys doing it too?
The reckless, miserable married men.
Yeah. I don't know.
That and all the above, don't you think, ladies?
Yes.
It's that and all
Yes,
the above.
absolutely.
It's the single, it's the married, it's the ambiguously gay, it's the gay and don't know it. It's all of them. The DMs are an open call. You know what I mean? It's an anonymous
so let's not
call
just say
box like,
DM.
for everybody.
So, Jeannie, if we're not saying DM, in real life, why does it seem like somebody's boyfriend or husband will be quicker to kick it to you than a single man who has his life together? And I personally think that it's because they have nothing to lose. Like, they ain't got nothing to lose. You say yes, you down, great. You don't say no, you not down, they going home to their wife. And I personally believe that there are some men that get to places in their relationship, in their marriage, where they are miserably reckless. Like, they almost want to get caught. I've seen it in the craziest ways, and you're just like, this person is married? Like, how does this even make sense? We've seen it.
Yeah.
We definitely have seen it, but haven't you noticed though that when guys are married or they have the ring, some women are more attracted to that? And is it because
they
the
got something
person's
wrong with
taken,
them.
so you want to see if you can do it? So maybe that's why these
100%,
men are
Garcelle.
doing it. Right.
Speak
Not
that
well
truth.
here.
It's so weird. That's a very real observation.
Men
But
just gonna
it
do whatever
usually has
they can
something
get away
to do
with.
with the psychological thing.
It ain't not.
I find another thing, ladies.
If they gonna get away with it, they gonna get away with it. That's all.
That's true.
That's why
Yes,
they call
that's
men dogs. Not all men.
Yes.
But a lot of them. Roof, roof.
Yes, but I also notice when it comes to ego, men will take their shot at you to get a read on him, his relationship with you, his trust with you, you and him and how tight that relationship is. Meaning, if he can come at you and you actually play back, you might be telling some stories. You might be getting like emotionally intimate with him. That means he knows that that husband of yours ain't got nothing on you. And you guys don't have as tight of a relationship as this shows. So a man will try you and talk to you and try to get in there close just to see if you really as married sounds. You know what I'm saying? I noticed that
know what you're saying,
lot.
And
What about
ultimately,
to see if they still got it? Like, do I still got it?
Oh,
If I
for
can-
sure.
if I can
Oh,
talk to you,
100%.
that's part of
And
it
if they
too.
can lure you.
100%.
Yes. The exes do that for sure. The exes, I think, Adrian, didn't you share a story like that? The exes come creeping as soon as this comes on. They're like, you sure? Wait,
100%.
sure?
It is Sex in the City, Carrie
there a
Bradshaw in the middle of the street. If you know the episode where it's like, do men have something where literally, as she's about to move away to Paris, sorry if you're just catching up, and she's about to leave, she literally is leaving. And Big pulls up in his car. And she's like, do you have some kind of radar on me that says, Carrie's happy, let me go ruin it? But that is very real.
Okay, so check this out. People like to tell others to check their egos, right? And that may be because their ego is getting in the way of their check, like their actual dinero. In fact, a recent article on Medium's The Startup decided to break down 6 ways your ego may be getting in the way of your happiness. For example, thinking we are better or worse than something like doing a job or dating someone is a giant red flag. Or if something bad happens to you, you're always quick to get defensive and blame others instead of like learning from the experience or what was wrong about it. So ladies, I'm curious if you've ever let your ego get in the way before.
Baby.
Not all at
way
once
that
now,
my
come
ego
on.
is set up. It's not just my ego. It's a sense of pride, and I literally have this crazy fear of embarrassment. Like, I have a fear that I will either ask for a raise and be turned away, and that would be mortifying to me, or that I would audition for a role and not get it, and like, so I just won't audition at all because I don't think that I can do the part. Like, do you know how many times my husband has this quote? He's like, what has embarrassment cost you? Like, just fear of being embarrassed that you don't take the chance, that you don't take the risk. That is literally the story of my life. Like, I'm working through it now, but literally, like, I wouldn't ask for a raise. I would never, at the idea that, like, someone would think I was an opportunist, or, like, I'd be embarrassed at the idea that you'd reject me. So it's like a fear of rejection and all those things that might possibly ultimately end up hurting my ego and my pride. Let me tell you, this alter ego pride of mine, her name is Orgullosa. She got issues and she needs therapy.
What's her
I got something to tell
Orgullosa.
whatever her name is. Orgullosa. Okay, listen. I'm gonna tell her something right now, okay? The next time she wonders if it's ever worth being afraid of rejection, there's only one thing worse than rejection. Are you ready? Regret, Adrian. Because rejection, you can actually deal with it. You know what happens. Regret, you live for the rest of your life never knowing what would happen, and that's worse.
Yeah.
After I did Cheetah Girls, crazy enough, I actually was offered a movie. And because at the time I was like dating someone older and cooler than me, I literally thought like, I can't keep doing these Disney movies. This is so corny. And I was afraid of embarrassment of doing more of these Disney corny movies, and I was like, oh my gosh, like nobody's gonna want to date me. I was a lot older than the roles I was playing, and so I passed on the film because of embarrassment and pride, thinking that this was gonna hurt my look in the street, my street cred. And turns out it was actually the launching pad for Selena Gomez's film when I turned down the role they gave it to Selena Gomez.
Really?
Yeah, it was the movie that like launched her whole career.
I'm mad.
What has fear cost me? A lot.
I would have dragged you to the
I know.
audition. I'm mad.
No, I didn't even audition. I didn't have to audition. I was offered the role.
That's unbelievable. That's
Wild, right?
Well, yeah. But I think, what did you
You're
learn
so
from that? Like, if
lucky you're
someone
not in
offers you
person. I
something
literally
now,
could
would you
pinch
take
right
it?
now.
And I still haven't learned my lesson. If I feel like it might not work out, I might not go for it. Like
Adrian.
guys, I really struggle with pride and embarrassment. I really do. Even now, if there was like a song that I recorded,
You seem so
if there was a
confident
song
to
I
me.
recorded, I would be afraid that people would think the song was whack, so I'll never put it out. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me.
You're doing great. I think the fact that you can say it.
But at the same time, Adrian, what I love is that you have the real fam, you have a fan base that constantly tells you how much they love your singing, how much
I
they
know.
want to see
And it
productions,
means
whether it's
everything
you
to
and your
me.
family, you and your husband. So those like individual reminders, if you're doing it even for one person and you bless them or you save them from their own fears, then it's always worth it. Remember that.
That's a word right
You know what I
there.
mean? Like that one
Yeah,
person.
if it even helps one person out, if one person likes it, it can make such a difference.